This is Ravi Gabis. Welcome back to the Gabis Show, where we unlock the secrets of real wealth in the United States every single day. Last time we talked about mental blocks. I told you how they stop you from achieving your results, how your psyche works. I gave you an exercise to fold down, standing, keeping your knees straight, and then we repeat the same thing mentally. And when you did the second attempt, you managed to go way farther. Okay, today I want to go deep in in each of these mental blocks. I said there are three of them, but the main one, the strongest maybe one that blocks everything at the root, is the mental block that's called, or the phrase maybe, yeah, I can't do it. How often do you use this? Maybe sometimes you don't even notice that when you say, I can't do it. I can't do it. Um, if we, for example, talking about something connected with money, for example, I want to start a company, or I understand that if I want to have more money, I need to start a company. But say, I can't do it. It's not about me. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm the one who is supposed to work for someone else. Or you kind of you want to create a capital, and you understand that you need to go to the stock market, but I can't do that. I don't know how to trade. I can't trade because I'm not a trader. If you want to be a trader, you need to be born a trader. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you say it out loud, sometimes you just think about that. And this is the thing that blocks everything at the very root. Why? Let's check how it works. Physical part. I like to make everything as simple as possible. Now I want you to say it out loud. Somehow, just you hear that, yeah? I can do this, and feel that situation. Maybe you can remember one of the moments in your life when you really couldn't do something. So you try, you failed, you tried again, you failed, you tried again, you failed, and you say finally no. Someone says, let's do it that way, but you say no. I can't. It's not for me. I tried multiple times. It doesn't work, so I can't do this. I can't do this. And go deep and feel it. What feelings you have in your body? What does your body feel? How it feels? What happens to your body? Because your feelings always live in your body. What happens with your shoulders? Maybe they are going down. With your side, is it higher than the horizon line or lower? So how's your face? What's about your breathing? How do you breathe? Maybe shallow, rare. Yeah. Is it a pleasant feeling? No. And the second part, we two parts always. There are always two parts. Your body, your feelings is in your body, and the second part is your brain. What happens in your brain? Just say that phrase out loud. The same thing happens when you just think this phrase, I can do it. But now we're kind of experimenting. I want you to understand it deeper. That's why I ask you to say it out loud, even though some of you do not want to do that. Yeah, I understand it's a very unpleasant thing. And that's why it's a mental block, because something happens in your body, in your brain, and you know that even though you don't understand how it works exactly. Let's say it out loud. I can't do it. What happens in your brain? What does your brain see? What does it see? I can't do it. I can't do it. Most of people sees nothing at all, or something dark, failure, something unpleasant. And if we take both these together, your body and your brain that says nothing, actually what happens to you? What happens to your brain? It's just blocked. It doesn't work. It stopped working. It says, I can't do it. Nothing happens in your mind. That's why it's a mental block. And that's why you you should and need and must get rid of this mental block. How to do this? First of all, we need to understand whether this phrase, I can't do it. It is true or it's false. Because if it's true, we do it one way. I mean, get rid of this. If it's false, we will work on this in another way. This phrase, I can't do it. Is that true or not? For example, you tried to make, I don't know, $10 million a year and you failed. You made 100,000. You tried to make $10 million a year and you failed again. And you try this 5 times and you failed. So what do you say? I can't make $10 million. Is that true? Is that true that you can't? Or let's take another sample. You're standing in a room with a ceiling height of, I don't know, 40 feet, and you're jumping to touch the ceiling. You jumped and you failed. You jumped and you failed. So you can't touch it. It's too high. So what does it mean? Can you touch it or you can't? I mean, in that way. You say, I can't touch it. Is that true or not? I want to go here deeper because the line is very, very tiny here. It's very thin. And I want you to understand how it works. When you say, for example, you jumped and tried to touch the ceiling and you failed. What did you prove? That you can't do it? No. When it was? It was in the past. So everything that happened is already in the past. So you tried to touch the ceiling, you jumped as strongly as you could, but you failed. What did you prove? That you failed. It means that you could not do it. You could not do it. Does it mean that you can't do it? No, it does not. The line is very tiny here. Your brain blends everything together because it's easier for your brain to act in that way. But your task is to control your brain, to control the way you're thinking. You just set that line and you say, yeah, I tried to make $10 million and I failed and I couldn't make $10 million. But now this is the present time. It doesn't mean that you can't. If you want to know whether you can or not, what do you need to do? You need to try. And even if you fail, what did you prove? You proved that you couldn't earn $10 million a year. Does it mean that you can't? No, it doesn't. By default, you can do everything. If we take a baby, a little child, if you ask him, can you do this? He says, I don't know. I haven't tried. I haven't tried, he says. So you need to try. And if you tried and you failed, it doesn't mean that you can't. You just proved that you couldn't do that. And the first phrase that you should say out loud, or just think about that, when you catch yourself saying that phrase, I can't do this, you should say, I can do. I can do it. You say, I can, because by default you can do everything. And this is the first thing. If you catch yourself saying, I can't do this, you say, I can do it. I can do everything. By default, you can do everything. But that phrase, I can do, still exists. You can get rid of that phrase because it's just impossible. How to use that phrase in the way that will start helping you instead of blocking you. For example, you tried to make $10 million and you failed. What should you say? In the past, I tried to earn $10 million and I failed, yeah? So you say, I thought in the past that I couldn't make $10 million a year. Just repeat this phrase out loud and check what happens to your body. What happens to your body, first thing. In the past, I thought that I couldn't make $10 million a year. In the past, I thought that I couldn't make $10 million a year. In the past, I thought that I couldn't make $10 million a year. And what's now? And now I can. Actually, nothing changed, yeah, but look what happens to your feelings, yeah. Who feels better now? You feel better, but what happens? Nothing changed. You still fail. But when you say in the past I thought that I couldn't make $10 million a month, it means, but now I can. And check what happens in your brain. Your brain works like a searching machine, like a browser, like a Google. Just check what it Googles. Because your brain is pretty simple. Actually, brain maybe is the most simplest things in the way it works. It works like a searching machine. What you put in your brain, it's kind of this is what you ask from your brain, and it gives it to you. So that's why you need to be very careful what you put there. It's a searching machine. When you say I can't, so it gives you I can't, just block you. But when you say I thought that I couldn't make $10 million in the past, I thought that I couldn't make $10 million, what does it give to you? What kind of pictures will you see if you use Google and print that phrase? You see $10 million. In the past, I thought, yeah, but $10 million, your brain starts seeing $10 million. It's not just blocked and nothing there. Your brain sees $10 million. It's like a goal. It's like a task. It's like a where you need to go. You need to make that $10 million. So your brain starts working. Nothing has changed. Nothing. But in the first situation, when you say, I can't do it, your brain is just blocked and nothing happens. And in the second situation, your brain starts working. And every single result that you have in your life was achieved thanks to your brain. Brain is the thing that lets you achieve any result that you want in your life. And when you're born, everybody usually born with 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 legs. Nearly 99% of people born in that way. But what's different? The only difference is in the brain. And there are some people without legs and arms, and they achieve huge results thanks to what? Thanks to the brain. And if you haven't achieved anything in your life, you can achieve it thanks to what? Thanks to your brain, due to your brain. Maybe now you kind of, if you haven't achieved anything, it means that it's your fault. You can't do that thanks to your brain. Maybe it's not pleasant to realize that, but this is how it works. And you were born with this tool, with these magic things. It works in a very simple way. Everything you say, I want, every your goal, task, everything you see around you for your brain is some kind of moving power. It starts working in that direction, in the direction of realizing your goal, your task, your desire. It copies everything that's around you. If you live simple life, if you, I don't know, live in a shittier surroundings, environment, it learns how to survive there. It's kind of, the ability to copy everything it says. If you see successful people around you, if you talk to entrepreneurs, if you watch videos every single day, if you read different, clever books about anything you want, your brain starts copying that things as well. So this is how it works. And any result in your life can be achieved due to your brain, thanks to your brain. And you need to know how it works. Because when you say, I can't do this, your brain automatically blends everything together. You tried, you failed, and you say, I can, but it's not true. You need to separate these two things. You say, immediately, as soon as you caught yourself saying, I can't do it, you say, I can do everything. I can do everything. I can do everything. Just repeat it multiple times a day. So it's a new belief in your mind. I can do everything. Because by default, you can do everything. And then if something specific, you say, okay, in the past, I thought that I couldn't earn $10 million a year, but now I can. Okay, this is the first mental block. There are 2 more of them. I think it's enough for today. I don't want to make it too long. Tomorrow we will work on the rest, on the other 2 mental blocks. This is Ravi Gabis. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.